All right, welcome everybody. It's Friday and it's time for a live stream, and I have a surprise guest with me. This is Greg from My Weight Loss Life.
How's everybody doing? Happy Friday to you.
Yeah, all right. And I see some people starting to show up in the chat. So if you have any questions for us, put a Q in the front and ask away. And while we're waiting for any questions or anything, Greg, let's start with a little conversation here. And I know you recently hit a milestone of 7 months on your diet. So let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited, Brian. On the 22nd of August was my 7th month mark, and I've lost over 80. Well, now I'm over 85 pounds in that 7 months, and that was mainly doing a keto low carb diet along with some carnivore diet is in there as well. What I
Mhm.
do is I do keto one day, carnivore the next. I find that really works well for me, and the nice thing is with doing a carnivore diet, your carbs are very low and almost none, and I feel that really helps me dial it in. So I continue to lose weight, and it's been going really good, and I can't complain. I'm really happy and excited about the progress that I've made, and I still probably, I don't know, I would like to lose probably 70 plus pounds. I'll go as low as I can, and still be healthy. That's what I'm shooting for, anyways.
Yeah, that's great. So you said 85 pounds, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's great. Congratulations.
Yeah, it feels pretty good, and I don't get me wrong, I had my struggles along the way. There's times where there was like a month stretch where I felt like I didn't lose anything. And those times can get discouraging, but if you just stay focused on the plan, don't quit, never give up, your weight will drop again. And I think the thing is, we sometimes lose focus on the non-scale victories. And I know I talk quite a bit about in some of my videos is making sure you take some measurements, because those are the things that'll keep you plugging away, especially if you are not losing weight. You may be losing inches, your body's adapting, changing shape, and those are the things that really make a difference, I believe.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So let's see. So it's 3:30 your time because you're in Central Time Zone, right? Did you
Correct.
get it? Did you get a chance to eat yet today?
Yeah, I did actually. About 1 o'clock, I had three over easy eggs, and I had five little sausage links for my lunch today. And a lot of times for lunch, I eat breakfast. I enjoy obviously eggs are a great source on this plan. For some protein, and let alone you get a little fat in there. I use a little butter on my eggs to make sure that they don't stick to the pan, and that adds some nice flavor as well. And then the sausage links, I usually do bacon, but I didn't have any bacon ready to go, and I was just at the store and bought some sausage links, and I think it was a 10 pack, and I cooked them all, but just picked out five little links, and they tasted good. I'm satisfied. I'm not even hungry, and here we're going to be pushing 4 o'clock pretty soon my time, so that's a win.
Good. All right. So I did eat today too, as already. I ate like around 12:30 Eastern time, so that would have been about 4 hours ago. Um, I had a 22-ounce ribeye, and I also had a couple of eggs. And this is a big thing for me because um, not everybody probably knows this, but I talked a little bit about this a couple of times. The last two times I had eggs before this, and this goes back like about a week, 2 weeks ago or whatever, I kind of felt sick. I got stomach cramps, and then I had like loose stools and stuff. So I wasn't sure if I was developing some kind of issue with the eggs. Um, it looks like we just lost Greg, so hopefully he'll be back here in a minute. But anyway, I don't know if I developed some kind of issue with the eggs or if it was actually something bad with that particular carton of eggs. So the eggs that I had today were the same brand from the same store. And Greg is coming back. Here we
Sorry
go.
about that,
There we
guys.
go.
Yep.
All right. No problem. So I was just saying, so the eggs that I ate today are from the same store, the same brand, but a different carton from before. and I did not get sick this time. I didn't get stomach cramps or anything. So I think that potentially the problem before was just that I had some sort of food poisoning from the eggs or whatever before.
Sure.
Um, so that was good. You know, I was a little bit hesitant over the last week or so to try eggs again, just because of that. You know, I wasn't sure if maybe I had gotten to the point that eggs were certain types of eggs or whatever were just affecting me, but it doesn't seem like that's it. It has been, like I said, about 4 hours since I ate those, and the previous times, like within about an hour, I started getting stomach cramps. So I think that I'm in the clear here, and I think the good news is I can eat eggs again. So I was kind of worried because
Nice.
eggs are good, very good nutrition in eggs. So
Definitely.
uh,
I find that I eat eggs every day because I usually cook hard boiled eggs, and a lot of times I will have those. And if I am feeling like I need a snack, I will grab a hard boiled egg. It's very satisfying. It's not going to spike your blood sugar. Keeps you from eating the other food that you shouldn't have, or be tempted to take something that has carbs in it. And I find that that really works too. Not that you always need a snack, but it's just sometimes you feel that urge, and that's where I like bacon and egg. Sliced bacon out of the fridge that I keep in a Ziploc bag. I cook it kind of like I do 2 packages at once usually, and put it in a Ziploc bag and put it in the fridge, and it lasts a couple days in there, and I eat it kind of like beef jerky. It works pretty good if you have a little sweet tooth, or like I said, I usually have eggs available. I have one of those dash makers, and I make like 7 eggs at a time. Usually I'm almost making eggs almost every day, I swear, every day or two anyways. And my wife eats them too though, so they're just a nice little snack that it's not going to hurt you, it's not going to cause your blood sugar to spike, and you stay in ketosis and keep plugging away.
yeah, yep. All right. So if you're watching right now, go ahead and put in the chat, say hi, let us know where you're from, and so forth. And if you have any questions, put a Q in front, and we will answer your questions. So Susan is here. Hey, Susan. She's from South Carolina. I'm from Virginia, by the way, and you're from Iowa, correct,
Yeah, yep,
Greg?
I'm from North Central Iowa. Yep.
All right. All right. So, Susan, glad you're here. All right. So, while we're waiting, um, Greg, we already talked about your 7 month, um, you know, getting to the 7 months, and what you mentioned a little bit about kind of switching off between keto and carnivore and all that stuff. Um, and I know we've talked a little bit about this. So you've talked a little bit about how you think you're kind of thinking about doing more of a full carnivore thing again for a while, but you really don't want to break the rhythm that you got right now,
Yeah.
and it's really working. Um, and I think that's a key point. Like, tell us a little bit about that because um, sometimes you don't want to change what you're doing just because something else might be good because what you're doing is working, and why mess up what's working, right? So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's one of those things, things are going really well, and I hate to upset the furnace, so to speak. When you're dropping weight, it's just hard to change plans and change gears and kinda shift, what you're doing. And I guess what I'm gonna do with carnivore is I'm gonna save it more for when my weight gets stuck, and see if that'll help me break through, the plateaus that we sometimes run into. Um, I will say this, I'm getting closer and closer to being all carnivore. I find that I don't desire some of that other stuff anymore. Lately the taco salads haven't been that great for me, and they don't sit well with me. So, the days of eating those might be kind of limited. But that's probably the one thing that has been keeping me doing keto is like a taco salad. I enjoy that. But at the same time, I mean, if it's upsetting my stomach or it's bugging me, maybe it's time to go full carnivore and do that for a while and just see how things go. I know I did it for a week and a half in the past, and I dropped 13 pounds, got through a plateau. The 4th of July rolled around, and I didn't do so good on staying on the plan, and I paid the piper for it and gained the weight back that I had lost. And then I was stuck for a couple weeks to get my weight to go back down. So at the same time, though, that was a plateau at that time. So I can't say it was because of just the diet or anything, or because obviously I screwed up and I shouldn't have went off the plan. But it's one of those things that I have seen the benefits of doing carnivore. It really helps. You know, you don't have the cravings. I don't know if I'll be an old man type carnivore though. I could see myself being twice a day meal. You know, just like I said, the bacon and eggs for lunch probably, and then you know, a nice steak or whatever for supper would probably satisfy me pretty well. So, you know, I'm getting pretty close to pretty much eating that kind of meal every day. So we'll see here. I think you know, when I do the full I should do the full carnivore, I will do like a 30-day challenge and just see how it goes. And I'll probably do something and give updates for people and just kind of let people know how it goes. But you know, I think the key with any kind of weight loss plan is, you know, do what works for you. That's a big deal for, you know, find what works for your body, and then just keep working that plan until all of a sudden, you know, you aren't losing weight. Maybe you need to make some adjustments, adjust the plan a little bit, but never give up, never quit. Just keep plugging away.
Yeah, that's good advice. All
Hello,
right, so
Kathy.
Kathy, hi Kathy. She is from Ontario, Canada, and she has a question. So I'll let you answer first. Do you intermittent fast? Is it effective for you? And how many meals a day do you currently eat?
For me, I eat 2 meals a day, and on occasion, I will do some intermittent fasting. I probably haven't done as much of this because I find that come 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm ready to eat a snack. So I tend to do 2 meals a day. I will say this, however, my wife did intermittent fasting, and she lost 15 pounds just like that. And basically, she was eating whatever she wanted at supper time, and she still lost the weight. And she didn't have a lot to weight to lose, but I think she's down over 25 pounds now, and she's at her goal weight, and looks great and is feeling great. And she tends to eat like I do. We eat the same kind of, you know, same kind of supper and stuff. And she still pretty much just does the fasting. She usually doesn't eat lunch, and she's doing really well with it. And she has a few more things than I would have, you know, a few more of the goodies, but you know, she can afford to do that. She's at her goal weight, and you know, I think it's one of those things that she's a little more balanced probably with what she eats, but she's maintaining, and that's what we're all looking for, you know, especially once you get to goal. So definitely.
Yeah. All right. So I do intermittent fast in the sense of often when I eat ribeyes, I don't eat for like 24 hours because I'll eat the ribeye and then I don't get hungry again. So I do intermittent fasting in that sense. Um, and then most of the time when I don't eat OMAD and I eat twice a day, it's within a good 4 to 6 hour period. So there's the 18 to 20-hour fast. Um, so that typically is how it works. I can't remember the last time that I ate more than 2 meals in a day. There have been a few times that I snacked. Usually that's when I've kinda gotten off plan a little bit, though, so we don't need to talk about that. But, yeah, typically that's the way it works. And so there's at least that, 18 to 20-hour fast or sometimes a 24-hour fast because I just ate enough that I didn't need to eat again. Um, so in terms of effectiveness, yeah, I would say for me, that does seem to be, um, pretty effective. I've been pretty comfortable with doing it, and, um, it seems to be the way that works for me. So that's, I feel good with doing it that way. I've never really done longer fasts though, like, your 2, 3 day fasts. That's not something that I've really gotten into trying. So it'll be interesting to see how that would go for me.
Definitely. I was gonna say hello, Nicole, former fat girl. How are you today? And then
Yeah, yeah.
I see Susan down there kind of shared her results with us. That's great too. Good job.
Yeah, let me bring that up.
That's
Clean keto
awesome.
5 years, down 140 pounds. Transitioned to carnivore 2 months ago, down 10 more pounds, lost 11 and a half inches overall, bust, waist, hips. Intermittent fasting 5 to 6 days a week, 16 to 18-hour fast. So that is great.
That's
Great
awesome,
job, Susan.
Susan.
Mhm.
Congratulations.
Yes. All right. All right, so we're caught up on questions right now. So I mentioned that I haven't really done like the longer fast, like 2, 3 days or anything like that. Have you ever really dove into that side of fasting?
No, I mean, it's just one of those things, I eat supper and then I don't eat till noon the next day, which you consider that fasting. I mean, that's, if you're eating supper at 6 p.m. and eating at noon the next day, you're getting a good, 18-hour fast in pretty much, which is, I mean, that's a lot. I mean, it helps a lot. And, keeping that food window, in the 6 hour window, some people do 4 hour window. I think that'll helps too. Definitely.
Yep. Yeah, and yes, yeah, keto diet, you're definitely right. Doing the 16 to 18-hour fast is basically what they're
Yeah.
talking about with intermittent fasting.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, and even if you're doing like 24-hour fast, that's still considered intermittent fasting. So like if I eat
Yeah.
once a day and it's 24 hours, typically they don't consider it like the full fasting unless you're going to 2 to 3 days
Yeah.
or more. So,
Yeah, I haven't done more than I've never done multiple days or anything like that. Just
yep. Susan, you are welcome. That's what I like to see, and that's why I like doing these lives, and we have the interaction to see the progress that people have been making. Like, I'm going to bring your thing back up again here. 5 years too. That shows you've been able to stick with it for 5 years. And that helps for people that maybe are new that are coming on here and watching, right? Because um, they can see it. It's not just like this short term thing. Like people can stick with it. A lot of diets, you only end up doing them short time period because they're just not sustainable over time. But that's a perfect example. 5 years, how it is low carb is sustainable over time, because you're not starving yourself of any nutrients or anything. You're getting the right nutrients. You're not worrying about calories. You're eating as much as you need to eat. You're just eating the right foods.
yep, and it very much falls in line with I believe that, it's not a diet, it's a lifestyle, and a way of life. And I believe that's what it takes for long-term success. I look at diets are temporary. And this is a lifestyle, and you're living proof that it is a lifestyle because 5 years, 140 pounds, that's amazing. So
Yeah. As Dr. Bray would say, huzzah. Yep. All right. We got another question here. This comes from Kathy. Do y'all do much exercise? And is it every day? I'll let you go with that first, Greg.
well, I just want you to know when I lost this 85 pounds in 7 months, I did not do any exercise. I have very bad arthritis in my spine, my hips, my knees, and my ankle. So I have not done any exercising. I think one time, I think I walked like 3 days once, but I could go like 2 blocks. It wasn't very far and it just was very painful for me. Now, will I incorporate some exercise going forward? Yeah, I'm gonna try as much as I can. Do some free weights and upper body. Maybe not so much walking. Maybe sometime come wintertime I'll maybe see about joining the Y or something, so maybe I can get in the pool and do some low impact exercise. I think that would help me, but for the most part with this type of eating, you can lose the weight without exercising. Now I'm not making any recommendations on not exercising. If you can move your body, go for it. I think it'll help you. It'll make a difference. I mean, I can't imagine what that weight loss would have been had I been able to work out or walk 3 times a week. I'd probably be over the 100-pound mark would be my guess that I've lost. But it's not a race. It's one day at a time, 1 pound at a time, as I always like to say.
Yeah. And, I've heard a lot of people say, like, um, the way you eat is 95% of it, right? And the
Mhm.
exercise is very little, like 5%. I've even heard people say that exercise really doesn't help that much at all with weight loss. It's all about how you're eating and so forth, and getting the proper sleep even, and things like that help with it, right?
Yeah.
Um, but the good thing with exercise is it's good for your body, it's good for your heart. Matter of fact, I just did an interview last night with Bart K that's gonna be coming out in a couple of days, and we were talking about this, and just talked about he was talking about inflammation, how just exercising helps with inflammation in your body and so forth. Obviously, not eating foods that provide inflammation in your body helps too, but just exercising all parts of your body helps to get rid of inflammation as well. So exercise is definitely good for you.
Yep,
So
definitely.
for me, exercise, I've been hit or miss really over the last year or so since I've been carnivore. There's been times that I've done it, and now I'll do like maybe a couple times a week that I exercise. And typically that would be like talking about doing some weights, right? Some strength training, exercise of some sort. And there's times that I take walks and stuff too, but um, really the type of exercise that is the best for you, best for your body, best for your heart is high intensity type of stuff, right? So lifting weights, running, like doing sprints. There are people that talk about that. And there's a lot of interesting information to look at there too, because if you look at people that sprint and then people that do long distance running, the sprinters are like really muscular and the long distance people aren't as muscular. So that just shows how sprinting it can be so effective at building muscle as well. Um, so that's something I would like to get into. I haven't really done any sprinting. And part of that is because I had arthritis and so forth. But as I lose weight, I would like to get more into that. Um, the final thing I'm going to say here is going into September, I'm actually going to be doing a exercise challenge.
Nice.
And I don't normally do challenges. Like I haven't been big on doing challenges, especially like eating type of challenges. But Dave Mack and from no carb life
Mhm.
or zero carb, whatever it
Zero
is.
carb, yeah.
Yeah, and mineralist carnivore, which is Chad. They asked me if I would do a challenge with them on exercising, and basically it's a don't go to the gym, work out at home type of thing, right? So we got to figure out the details still on it, but we're gonna do this challenge where it's basically whatever you can do, but like, from your home, walking,
Mhm.
running, whatever you're going to do. So I'm going to do that challenge. Um, and there's another challenge I want to bring up because Nicole, former fat girl, is on here. And let me see, where did I see? Here we go. So Nicole is doing a challenge, and I said I would go in on that challenge in September too. And that is a no dairy challenge. So this is actually an eating challenge
Mm,
one.
interesting.
Um, But you can have butter from what I understand, right, Nicole? I'm counting on that we can still have butter. But so this is an interesting one because for dairy, a lot of people have trouble with weight loss stalls when they're eating dairy, whether it's cheese or, drinking milk or something like that, right? Um, and I know other people that have talked about this and they said, I was constantly, not constantly, but I would eat cheese or whatever. And I finally decided I was going to cut it out. And when they did that, they started losing weight. So I'm going to do the no dairy challenge. And yeah, she says no dairy except butter. Eh, I need my cooking butter. Um, so anybody else that wants to join in on us on either of those two challenges or both of them, that'd be great. Put in the comments that you want to. And Greg, are you interested in any of those?
Hmm. I'll have to think that over. I will say this, I went to my first physical therapy appointment today, and, sounds like they're gonna have me going 3 days a week, doing some of that stuff for a few weeks, so or like a month or so, so we'll see here. I'll think about it, though. I mean, obviously, I'm gonna be doing some activity with my physical therapy, but I don't wanna overdo it either.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
hello, Brenda, how
All
are you
right.
tonight?
All right. So let's see. Susan, that's why I usually share my story to help others. I was 57 years old when I started, and all of my life, yo yo dieting, every diet out there. I finally found the sustainable, proper human diet. It is a lifestyle.
Mhm.
Yep.
Very
Very
much.
well said, Susan. All right. And you mentioned Brenda. There she is from Kentucky. Hello, Brenda. Oh, and Susan says, I finally had my last cheese the other day. So she's doing no dairy too, right?
You
Only
know,
butter. Yep. There we
You know,
go.
the
Only
thing that's
butter.
funny is when I first started on this journey back in January, I ate a lot of cheese. I lost the weight though, I will say, but now I hardly eat cheese at all because I do think it will stall your weight loss. So, when you're early on, you can be a little more forgiving on what you eat. That's what I noticed on my plan anyways. Like the first 2 months, I lost 35 pounds. It was pretty easy, and it was more dirty keto or low carb, I guess you could say, because I was eating a lot of the different stuff. But as time went on, I realized it's like, no, you got to continue to lower your carbs and what you're eating. And now I eat less than 10 carbs a day, probably more like 5, to be honest. And that's really worked well for me. So
Yeah. That's good. So Nicole said, "Congrats to Susan," and her goal is to clean out her fridge of all the cheese before September by eating it. I hope you don't hit that stall or start gaining weight from that, though, Nicole. And here's a good. Um, I started to kind of read this. This sounds pretty good because this is very true. I see videos with people morbidly obese and they hit the gym and go on excessive walks, asking for heart attacks or other injuries by doing that. Body needs lots of healing over months before that exercise regime. Um, that's a good point. First of all, before you start any kind of, you know, big exercise routine, you should consult with your doctor, right? Um, Especially if you're overweight or have like any type of heart issues, that kind of stuff, right? Um, so one thing that a lot of people do, if that they recommend, at least if you're really overweight, is to really get your diet intact first, and lose some of the pounds, get your heart where it's not stressed as much, and then you can start doing the exercise. So that's a good point. And um, I'm not skinny by any means at all. I still have quite a bit to lose, but I'm in a good point for working out, and I used to work out actually quite a bit. It's funny because I worked out more before than I do now. Um, and I wasn't really losing the weight. So that just kind of shows that exercise is isn't the biggest part of losing weight. It's your diet by far. Like close to 100% is your diet, making sure
yeah.
that you're eating the right things. So,
Definitely. And I
and
think that the thing with that too, and as far as exercise and starting, I mean, you know your body better than anyone else and what you can handle. If you're going to go out there and move your body, you don't want to overdo it, do something you shouldn't do. You got to trust your body and how you're feeling. And I think that plays into it too. Because I think anytime somebody gets a little exercise, it's good, but you have to know your body, and yeah, it makes sense to be working towards a healthier you before you dig into a too big regimen. It can be very hard on a person.
yeah. All right. So Kathy says she is up
Awesome.
for the dairy challenge come September. I'm sure it has stalled me as well. I'm walking short walks every day because that works for me. Great inspiration, Susan. All right.
I agree with the walking statement there by Nicole. I must say 14 years ago, I went on a weight loss journey and I was eating about 1,300 calories a day. And I go to the Y 3 times a week, sometimes four. And what I found is if I lifted weights, I did not lose any weight. If I just did cardio and walked, I lost weight. So, I think there's a lot to that with walking. I think that, it's a little easier on the joints. And yeah, I mean, like I said, I lost a lot of weight doing that. So, in the past.
Yep. And keto diet added stress test is needed. A stress test usually involves walking on a treadmill or riding a stationary bike. Healthcare provider watches your heart rhythm, blood pressure, and breathing during the test. Yeah, I've actually had a couple of stress tests done. Of course, I've talked before about how I have AFib, and I used to have a lot of AFib episodes. So I've had stress tests done just because of that, and one of the things they did was try to see if they could um, recreate an episode by me walking on a treadmill, because sometimes people do have that where exercise can put them into AFib if they have AFib. Um, I didn't go into it from it or anything though, but yeah, that's a good thing. If you're working with your healthcare provider, they're probably, if you're overweight or you have any type of health issues, any heart disease or anything like that, they're probably going to put you through a stress test before they let you do any strenuous type of
Yeah,
exercise.
I
So,
guess that's the other thing too, is just before starting any exercise program, make sure your doctor's on board with you doing that. Because he's going to know the health and the medication you're on and everything else. So
mhm,
definitely.
yep. And you already brought this one up
Hmm.
about walking. And Brad is here. Hey, Brad.
Hey, Brad.
Diet meal planning is the number one thing you should work on first, in my opinion. Yep.
Yep, definitely.
Let's see. Kathy says, when I'm tempted to eat, I walk around my block. It's not huge, but keeps me out of the pantry. Plus, my dog is happy. Yeah, it's kind of like that mental thing, right? Like you're sitting there sometimes and you're like, you want to eat something, but it's just because you're sitting there maybe and you're bored or something, or you're
Yep.
watching TV and you're seeing the subliminal messages on the commercials. And yeah, go out and do something, and that'll help.
It's
Or,
changing
you
that
know,
routine, and by doing
yeah,
something different, and that can change definitely your health. So that's a
yeah.
great idea.
And we've talked before, the two of us, about, sometimes where you get like the carb or sugar cravings. And I think we both like bacon in those
Yeah.
situations, right?
Yeah.
So if you do have to eat something healthy at least, right? Like bacon. I know for some people that sounds crazy that I'm saying eat bacon and that's healthy, but it really is. It's going to
Mhm.
help to fill you up because of the saturated fat in it.
It's
And
satisfying.
yeah, and that's gonna help to get rid of some of those cravings. So that's a good one I like to do, like bacon or some kind of homemade beef jerky or something like that if I'm, craving carbs or whatever. So, all right, I think we are caught up right now on questions. Oh, we got another one. Here we go. This is from Brad. How do you manage your stress as a Lions Vikings fan? Consume bacon.
You're probably right
Oh,
there, Brad. I know Brad. I know Brad pretty well, and he's a big Viking fan, obviously. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting season, kind of like we talked about here recently on our Carnivore Bowl. If you haven't checked that out, make sure you check out those videos on our channels. You can kind of watch a replay of that and see what that was all about. But it was fun. It was definitely fun talking a little bit of carnivore, talking a little bit of football. It was a good time.
yeah. And yeah, as a Lions fan, so I'm a Lions fan, right? Brad and Greg over here are Vikings fans. I'm a Lions fan, and I have a lot of stress as a Lions fan because it's been a rough, what, like 60, 70 years here. Never been to the Super Bowl. You know, every time we get a great player like a Barry Sanders or Kelvin Johnson, we don't do anything to complement them with better players around them. So
Yeah.
hopefully things are changing. We'll see.
Hello, Carnivore Backwoods. How are you today?
Yep. Good to see. Um oh, and here, thank you for the idea of the bacon. Yeah. Um that's a great one, and it doesn't really take that long to cook it up if you don't already have it cooked up. And if you do have it cooked up, then that's even better. So
I have a Blackstone griddle, and I usually cook 2 packages at once, and there's usually about 11, 12 slices in a package, so you end up getting about 24 slices of bacon, and, that lasts 2 days at my house if I'm lucky, but, it keeps pretty well if you just put a paper towel with the bacon after you've kinda after you've cooked it and let the grease come off, and just put it in that paper towel and throw it in a Ziploc bag and put it in the fridge. It works great.
yeah. So Carnivore Backwoods just got off work. And yes, I did, a little while back too before the live stream started. I got off work, and for me, it's the weekend. I think John might, or
It's
Carnivore
happy hour.
Backwoods. I
Happy
think he has to work. I think Carnivore Backwoods has to work again tomorrow. So I don't want to gloat too much about it being the weekend for me, but Greg's already doing happy hour over.
On Friday, every hour is happy hour.
Oh, all right. Okay. So I'm going to ask you this question. This is a question that's kind of starting to go around in the carnivore community to the different content creators, right?
Hmm.
And I saw Dave Mack and Larry from Carnivore Quest were talking about this, and then couple of days ago, I did a live stream with Dave Mack, and he asked me this question. So now I'm going to ask you this question, Greg.
I know what it is. It's about Mount
Uh-oh.
Rushmore.
Yes, it is. So who would be on your carnivore Mount Rushmore?
There's two people that come into mind when I first kind of was looking at keto, carnivore, that type of stuff. Actually, one of the first doctors I was looking at was Dr. Berg. I'd watched a bunch of his videos. Not that I've been watching a lot of his stuff now, not so much. Dr. Barry, those two doctors, I would say, would be on Mount Rushmore. I think uh, Anthony Chafee should be on there, and also the other one, Sean. What's his name?
Baker?
He's the guy who came up with the carnivore name.
Yeah, Sean Baker.
Yeah, Sean Baker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. I think that would be my choice, and I probably watch them the most on YouTube myself. But definitely, like I said, Dr. Berg. I mean, he's got a lot of good info out there as well. And I know sometimes you don't hear people throw his name around too much in the carnivore community, but I know he talks a lot about keto and also low carb stuff as well. And I think he should deserve some props too.
Yeah,
Hey, thanks
definitely.
for stopping by, Brad.
Yep. All right, Brad. Hopefully the Vikings and Lions have two really good games this year. I won't even say who I think is going to win because I don't, but yeah, I don't want to jinx anything, but all right. And let us know in the comments or in the chat here who would be on your carnivore Mount Rushmore. Um, so I'll let you know who I told Dave would be on my Mount Rushmore. I started with Dr. Ken Berry. For me, that's who I started out watching even when I was first looking at keto, right? That's where I really got started. And then I started thinking a bit about carnivore, and I was noticing, like how he had moved to carnivore more. And then I started watching other channels and so forth. So I start with Dr. Camberry. Um, I also did Professor Bart K because he is just so good with the science side of things, and he can tell you so much about your body and how things work scientifically. And then also, he is probably one of the best debaters I have ever seen. Like, if you watch him go into a debate with somebody, um, it's just amazing. Like, he is so confident with his opinions and everything, and he has it so well thought out and has the answers for everything. So that's number two for me. Um, Number three is Dr. Anthony Chafee, and this is where, like, I picked Dr. Anthony Chafee over Sean Baker, Dr. Sean Baker,
Mhm.
but they were really close, but I picked Chafee because I think I really, at least for me, I like um how he is able to, come across to his viewers, right? And it's really like you really get the feeling that he is talking directly to you when he's talking. And he's just very calm and he really has his facts down, what he's talking about. And so that's why I went with him. And then my fourth one, I didn't want to pick a doctor or, professor, scientist, or any of that kind of stuff. I wanted to go with somebody that was more of like your everyday person, just like us,
Mhm.
that really inspired me, and with that, I went with Dave Mack, because for me, he started the diet about a month before me, and a few months in, he started his channel, so I was, like, a couple months into it, and I had mostly been watching doctors at that point, and I
Right.
found his channel, and, it was just inspiring for me, and it was good for me to watch and see how he was going with things because I was about to hit the same part, in my journey as he was already going through, right?
Mhm.
So it worked really well for me. So that's how I picked my, 4 on Mount Rushmore. Let's
Hi,
see.
Carnivore Chris from Wisconsin, I'm assuming, WI.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's Wisconsin. Yep.
Mhm.
Hello. Susan says Dr. Camberry 5 years ago, so that's when she got started going with the keto route, I believe she said. So that's good. Hey, Ron from Overcoming Carbs is here. Hello. And here is his Mount Rushmore
Nice.
for carnivore.
Yep.
He's got
Yep.
Dr. Barry, Kelly Hogan, Dr. Chafee, and Alia Wells. Alia helped me so much with my
Nice.
channel. That's great. So
That's
yeah, Alia
awesome.
Wells, I've got to know her pretty well over the last probably month or two. She's been great too. Um, she's very open to helping others with their channels and just, talking about different things. I had her on my channel for an interview and she opened up about some en- endio. Oh boy, I don't know if I can say endro. I can't.
Demesis.
Endro. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, you're
I can't
talking.
even say it now. Oh my gosh. Probably if I see the word written out, I could say it. But and this was something that was an issue for her, and this is something that happens for females, right? So for me, I didn't have experience with this, but it was great for me to put it out there for my channel as I have different females watching my channel. They got to get a female perspective. Um, so it was great doing that interview with her, and I've done a few lives with her and so forth. So she's great. I feel like I'm talking a lot.
I see Kathy's leaving, so I just hey, thanks for tuning in, Kathy. Appreciate it.
Okay. Um, Here we go. Keto for Gorian.
How you
Thanks
doing
for
today?
watching.
Yeah, she's been awesome. Thank you for being on.
Yeah. So she has Kelly Hogan, Dr. Anthony Chafee, Dr. Ken Berry, and Dr. Lisa Weidman.
Oh yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
yeah, good idea. Some of these people I really need to look up because I have not even the one you mentioned, I have not seen any of their stuff. So definitely a good resource for me to check out some of their stuff because they may bring another piece to the puzzle. You learn from everyone, so you got to just pay attention and definitely helps.
Yeah. So I'm gonna get back to a couple
There it
of
is.
chats here, but there's the word
Yep.
endometriosis. There we go.
Yep.
Thanks, Ron. All right, let me come back up here to Kathy. So on her Mount Rushmore, she has Dr. Ken Berry, Dr. Sean Baker, James and Emily Burrows, and Dave Mack.
Nice.
Thanks for the great chat. All right. She
Yeah.
had to go.
Yep.
Okay. You were already talking about she had to go. All
Yep.
right. Thanks for coming, Kathy. So James and Emily Burrows, I don't know that I know them. Do you know them?
I'm gotta look
Is
at my
that
notes. I
is that
think
carnivore couple? Maybe I don't know.
nope. I thought that was maybe I had
Hmm.
somebody else write a couple names down. Michaela Peterson. I have not.
That
I haven't had
yeah,
a chance to look at
that's
her stuff yet. So.
Michaela's on the next one.
Oh
Let's
yeah,
go to
right
that
there.
one.
Yeah. Yep.
So
I've heard.
Michaela Peterson. So for those that don't know, that's Jordan Peterson's daughter, and she had major, major health issues at a very young age. She had diseases, and it was like really bad, and she fixed it. She's doing the lion diet. And Greg, are you still there? I think you might
Yeah,
have
I'm
froze.
here.
Oh, okay. I thought you froze there for a second because I
Yeah,
saw
you
you
did
kind of
too.
skip in
So
and out.
it's all
Okay.
right.
Okay. So yeah, so Michaela, she's doing lion diet and has to be really, really strict on her diet, but it's been amazing for her, all the, changes that she's had and how healthy she is now compared to how she was before. Then Kelly Hogan again, that's a great one. She's
Yeah.
been carnivore for like 12 years now, I think, something like that.
Yeah, it's quite a
There's
while. I know. Yep.
Yep. There's another Dr. Anthony Chafee and another Dr. Barry. All right, let's see here. This awesome, caring carnivore community family has been so supportive and helpful. I agree.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
It definitely is a family feel, and I'm not all that new to the family, but I can tell I'm welcome and people value me and care about me, and that's a big deal, especially if you're on this journey. It's nice to have people that support you and care about you, and it's awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Um, Here we go. So let me go back. It was Emily or James and Emily Burrows are ready, set, keto
Okay, yep.
couple.
I think I've
Okay.
seen some of their stuff too.
Yeah. All right. Um, I did that one. I'm sorry. Here we go. Okay.
Keto
Ketovore
Oregon,
Organian.
ketovore Oregonian. Yeah, like
Okay.
that.
So now we got it right. Thank you.
I'm sure I'll
Matt
still mess it up down the road, but you're awesome anyways, so thank you.
Matthew is here. Good day to Matthew.
Yeah, good
Oh,
day.
here's a good one. Susan says Sean White, intentional carnivore.
It
Yes, Sean should probably definitely be on Mount Rushmore as well. We need to have more than just 4. That's the problem, right? But
yeah,
Sean is great. I don't know if you've had the opportunity to talk with him yet. Um, but he's such an inspiration. He's lost over 250 pounds now, I believe.
yeah, I
I
think
know
he
he was
met
at
his goal.
245 at one point, but I think he hit over 250. He hit his
Yeah.
goal weight.
He,
Um,
he definitely caught my attention in when I saw his story, and then I started looking at carnivore a little more because I thought, man, 250 pounds in a year, whatever it is, 253 or something like that. And I definitely noticed that story and started paying more attention to what was going on. So he's definitely inspiring for sure.
yeah. Um, the interesting thing with Sean is he is probably the most sincere, caring person that you will ever meet. Um,
Mhm.
his channel is blowing up, and I think it's because of how well he's able to relate to people and that they just see how caring he is. He really is such a caring person. When you talk to him off the camera and so forth, um, he really cares about everybody. Like his reason for doing his channel is completely to get the carnivore lifestyle out there and to help as many people as he can. That
Yeah.
is that is his main objective. He's got a Facebook group that, it's a free group and everything, and he's very active on there. And yeah, he's just probably the most caring individual you'll ever meet. It's
Mhm.
I can't say enough about Sean. I really can't.
Yeah,
All right, let's
definitely.
see where we're at. Yeah, the keto diet says eating to a god on one side of a mountain is a mistake. Respecting, valuing opinions is okay, but we should always evaluate info, give, and not just blindly follow. Guy on Facebook telling people to drink urine. Yeah, definitely. Like for me, I did before I even tried going carnivore. I did so much research and tried to debunk as much of it as I could based on the knowledge that I had over the years, right?
Yeah.
And I've always been the kind of person that before I do something, I research it pretty well. Um, but that was like the thing, like some of this stuff with carnivore, I was like, this is crazy. Like, where are they coming up with this? And then I just started looking more and more at different research and so forth. And was able to find that, yeah, this actually is pretty legitimate, and I've kind of been lied to my whole life.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing what you find out when you do a little research and, listen to the right people. It changes everything.
Yeah. Here's another thing about Sean being genuine and real. Completely agree. She lives approximately an hour from him. One day she's
Oh,
going to
nice.
meet him. That'd be nice. Okay, so I used to watch Seinfeld, but who is Putty? I can't
I
remember.
don't know. I gotta be honest, I watch very little Seinfeld. Someday I should go back and watch all the episodes for fun because, I'd catch little bits and pieces, but I never sat down and watched it regularly or anything. So yeah, I don't know who Putty is. Sorry.
Okay. Let's see. So Matthew says I started keto in August of 2021 following Dr. Eric Berg. Doctor's name is Stan, right? Or Sten Ekberg.
Mhm.
And transitioned more to CD, so carnivore diet, in late October 2022, following Dr. Baker, Dr. Chafee. Oh, I'm sorry, Dr. Baker, Dr. Barry, Dr. Chafee, and Amanda at Carnivorous Me, and Dave Mack, and many more. Amanda's another one. She's had an amazing transformation. Um, and I've been watching her channels as well.
That's awesome.
Her channel, I should say, as well. So
I don't
yeah,
even
that's
watch
another
regular
good one.
TV anymore. I just watch YouTube and all my friends on the carnivore and keto plans, and it's just fun to see everybody's story and success, and it helps keep you focused and motivate you. I mean, it's an amazing community. So
Yeah. It's funny because the other night, um, I was I turned on the TV and I couldn't really find anything to watch. And it's one of those bigger, it's like a 75 or an 80-inch TV, I can't remember, on the wall, and smart TV and all that stuff. So I went into YouTube and I just started watching YouTube videos on the big TV.
there you go. I should probably do that too.
All right.
Charger,
Hey,
Volt
Rick
R.
is
Hello.
here. I had no idea what keto was until I saw people like Butter Bob Briggs and carnivores like Saladino. Yeah. Yeah, it was great. So Rick was my very first interview on my channel. So he's got the distinction of being my very first
I'll
interview.
have to go
Thank you,
back and
Rick.
check that one out.
Yeah. And it was great because, as it says right in his name there, the 40-year carnivore,
Mhm.
he's been doing this now for 40 years. And you think about it, like nobody was talking about this back then, right?
Right?
Everybody was saying it was bad and you're going to get the heart attack and everything. Like Rick will always tell you, like, he calls this the heart attack diet and so forth. But yeah, like it wasn't even called carnivore diet back then. And Rick stood out. He's like, I'm going to do something different here. And he's been doing it for 40 years. So
That's
anybody
awesome.
that tells you that carnivore is not sustainable, you need to look at Rick. 40
Yeah,
years. And
that's
I mean,
awesome.
if you go to his channel and watch some of his videos, he he like has no pain. He's over there, he has one video there, Rick. You got the one video where you're like putting your leg up over your head and everything. I'm like, oh my gosh, he's great. That's what a lifetime of eating carnivore does for you. I wish I knew about that way back then too.
Yeah.
And he says I've been the first interview on a few new carnivore channels. Heart attack diet since my teen years. Yeah. Let's see. Dr. Berg is great. Short videos on various health issues. It could be as simple as one vitamin, mineral, or other that alleviates an affliction.
Yeah.
Susan says YouTube carnivore channels every night. No time for watching chick flicks anymore. Yeah, that's great.
I think the live shows are kind of fun too because you get to meet other people in those, and yeah, I don't know, it's just good. I enjoy the questions too, and just being a part of it.
Yeah.
So, thanks for having me on today. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm glad you were able to join. It's funny because there was a live stream I was watching the other night, and the one of the questions that came in from the audience was, "What's your favorite type of video to do?" Like short
Mhm.
video, long video, interview style, whatever. And for me, it would definitely be a live stream because you're able to interact with the audience, with the
Yeah.
viewers, and they can ask you questions and so forth. And so that's the one I like the most. It's the most fun for me. What
Yeah.
would you say for you?
I'm just now that I've just only done a couple lives, I did a recording last night. I like that. That was kind of fun too. There's not the pressure of having an audience. That was all right too. And I like just making content too. Certain things come to mind and then I make a show about it. But actually, I kind of enjoy all of it. I think it's all kind of good. And, the lives, I'm getting into those more and more. They're definitely fun. I like the interaction with people and being able to answer questions and just hear what other people have to say. It's pretty awesome.
Hmm. Yeah. So Rick is gonna get a decent camera and a good costume to expand the Rick the vegan character. Oh my gosh. He had this video, what was that, like, maybe a week or 4 or 5 days ago for Rick the vegan? That was great.
I don't think I saw it, so I'll have to
Did you
check
get
that
to
out.
see it?
No,
Oh,
I haven't
yeah.
seen it.
Oh, he had the juicer out and everything, it was great. You need to go to his channel and
Oh,
check
I'll
that
I'll
out. That
check
was
that out.
great. It was great.
I must say, I interviewed a guy last night, and he's new to the YouTube channel, and I don't know if you guys want to look him up, but the Carnivore Cure is his channel, and he's over 700 pounds, and in 11 months, he's lost over 225 pounds doing the carnivore diet. And he's like 490 right now, but he's just getting going. I actually put an interview out there today for him, but I'm just he's wanting to get a hold of Bill, and he actually reached out to Bill Knott, and just he's a little ahead of Bill as far as he's 11 months in, and he's lost quite a bit of weight, and it was kind of fun to hear his story and see all that he's gone through and the success that he's having. And that's the thing that motivates me, is when you see people being successful and changing their life, and that's what it's all about for me too. Is anytime I can help somebody else, that's what I'm going to try and do. And I seen he was new, and I'm like, hey, you want to do an interview? And so I put a story out there just to try and get him some more viewers and get him going. So, that's what we do at this community, is help each other out. So,
Mhm. And let me see here. Oh, I didn't put that in. Where we go? Here we go. So this that I just put in the chat, this is the Carnivore Cures uh, YouTube channel.
oh yeah,
He,
awesome.
yeah, he's very new. It looks like he's got 3 videos, so very new.
Yeah,
Um,
yep.
so
One of
there
them,
it is for you guys to go check out. He is really new, but go check it out. If you like it, subscribe and help him out.
definitely.
Um, Okay, so here we go. Rick is saying, yeah, it was a few days ago when he had the Rick the vegan
Yeah,
video came
I'll check
out.
that out after I get done with this.
Yeah, I'm assuming he's talking about Carnivore Cures weight loss. There, great weight
Yeah,
loss. Here we go. That was a great interview. What a journey he has
yeah.
had.
Thank you. Yeah, it was. I love bringing his story out there, and I just hope more people see it and get inspired by what he's doing. And he's close to his deathbed, and he changed some things, and yeah, he's had a lot of success, and he's still plowing through it. But yeah, it was good to get to know. He's a great guy too. I can't say enough good things about him. Very nice. He's very well spoken, and just yeah, I think he's a guy that has a lot of stories to tell. So it'll be fun to watch his content going forward for sure.
Mm, definitely, yeah. All right. So let me bring something up here really quick. So while we got a minute here, just gonna kind of update you a little bit on my channel. I'm gonna be gone for a couple days out of town, but I might be able to still get some content out. But next Thursday, is that right? Or is it
I think it's
Friday? What are
Friday.
we?
I got something
Next
going on
Friday. There
Thursday.
we go.
Yep.
Yep. Next Friday, September 1st, Greg and I are gonna do another live. So
Yep.
um another Friday live
Yeah. Friday
event.
Night Lights.
Yeah, there you go. So we're planning on like 8 p.m. Eastern time, so that would be 7 p.m. Central time.
Yep. Yep.
Um,
We might see if we get
and
one or two more people to join us too. So look for that.
yeah, that's right. Um, and then that weekend I'm gonna be interviewing somebody for just a regular interview video that I'll put out later. Somebody that's rather new on Carnivore as well. So that's gonna be a nice one. I mentioned earlier, I'm going to have an interview with Professor Bart K coming out here pretty soon. I interviewed him last night. That was a great interview. So we got some good things there. And then as we get into September, I'm working on getting some other lives scheduled and so forth. And for those of you that are in the chat, any of you that are interested in sharing your story with me and, are comfortable with being interviewed and having video on YouTube, reach out to me. I'd love to share everybody's story, of how they're doing and, what they've been able to heal and so forth on carnivore. Because a lot of times we talk about weight loss, but it's not just about weight loss. For a lot of us, it's about different health issues as well, right,
Mhm.
Greg?
Definitely. Yeah, it can make a difference. That's what I'm hoping to do is maybe get rid of some of this arthritis by changing some of my ways. And that's, we're all on a journey and, food all affects us differently, but hopefully you find the combination that works great for you and changes your life. So
Yeah.
my
And
channel is at My Weight Loss Life.
yeah, I'm gonna pull it up right now for you. I forgot that you were kind of a surprise guest at the last minute, so it's not streaming on your channel,
Well,
is
I think
it?
if you go off the comment, it'll show up right at my picture, but I can't
Yeah.
type in here either for some reason. It's probably because I'm not logged in.
Oh, I think it's because I'm the host.
Oh, that
So
could be.
yeah,
Yeah.
but here I just put it in the chat. This is his link to his channel. Definitely check that out, and you'll be able to see the Carnivore Cure interview that came out like what
Yeah.
3 hours ago, I think, or something like that.
Yep. Yeah, noon today. Yep.
Yep.
Hello, ground beef guy.
Right. Yes, ground beef guy. So I was talking earlier about uh Sean White, and he has a Facebook group, and I actually got to know ground beef guy through that Facebook group. So that's a great community for people that are interested. I should find the link for that.
Definitely.
But anyways, ground beef guy says, I'm just about 90 days into carnivore. I'd love to chat with either of you guys. Great. I'll reach out to you because I know you're in that group. So I'll reach out to you, and I'm sure Greg will too. Oh, he ran into the carnivore cure guy last week. Amazing story. Let me find the link for Sean's Facebook group for anybody that's interested. It's called Carnivorous Community. And here it is. It'll go out. There we go. Oh, I know. I didn't do that in StreamYard. That's why. Here we go. Okay, there it is for you. So Greg, I think we lost your video. I can still hear you.
Yeah.
Oh, there
Sorry,
you
guys.
are. Okay.
I had to stand up. I was getting cramped up sitting here. So sorry about that.
Okay. And yes, Nicole, endometriosis. That's what we were talking about with
Yeah.
Alia earlier.
Thank you, Susan, by the way, for
Susan
subscribing. I
just
appreciate it.
subscribed. All right. And also go ahead and hit like on this video if
Yeah,
you're
definitely.
enjoying this live. That'll help to get it out into the YouTube algorithm.
Grab the
Rick.
iguana by the tail. Yes.
Yeah. So Rick's got iguana all around him, and um, he's definitely had videos out there about eating iguana. Help to keep the population low, right? I think we are caught up on everything. So let's see. Okay. So Greg, Mr. Vikings here. Let me ask you, do you know who the Vikings opened the season with?
I've not even been paying attention. I'm not sure who they play, to be honest. Yeah, I don't. Is it the Lions or is it the Bears?
It's not the
It's not
Lions.
the Lions. I haven't
No.
even looked, to be honest. I just haven't. I haven't had time, to be honest. but I'm still looking forward to the
So
season.
let's see who it is because the Lions have to open with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Let me
Here we
see.
go. The Vikings are going to be at home against Tampa Bay
Oh,
Buccaneers in
Tampa
their
Bay,
season
that's right.
opener.
I knew that. God dang it.
Yeah. So
Yep.
that's going to be interesting. The Lions have to open with the Chiefs. So we'll find out like in the first week if the Lions are legitimate or if they're just going to stress me out again all
That's a
season.
big time game. That'll be one worth watching, I think. Should
Yeah.
be a good one.
If they don't do well in that game, then I might have to give you a call and tuck me away from the cake or something, right?
Yep, definitely.
uh,
Does anybody else have any questions at all or anything?
yeah, if you do, go ahead and put it in the chat.
We appreciate
Um,
all of you coming on today, though. It really, I don't know, it was a great show today. A lot of questions and comments, and it
yep.
was awesome. So,
Yeah, definitely. What do you have going on this weekend, Greg? Anything?
we're gonna finish up my mother-in-law's cleaning out her old apartment because we moved her to assisted living. On Tuesday, it'll be 2 weeks. She's been there, but we've got to get the rest of it kind of cleaned up and get the keys put away, and then with moving her, we had a whole bunch of stuff that is sitting in my garage that was left over that she won't be using anymore. And we're actually having a rummage sale actually next Thursday afternoon and Friday during the day. We're gonna have a rummage sale and trying to clean up some of her stuff. And I'll throw some of our stuff out there too and just get rid of some things. And it's always good to declutter because it seems like the stuff just keeps piling up if you don't declutter your house once in a while. So that's what we're going to be doing this weekend, getting ready for rummage sale as well. And yeah, should be good. I'm thinking about smoking a pork butt on Sunday.
Hmm.
It takes like 9 hours. I figure, well, I can smoke that while we're working on in the garage on rummage sale stuff and enjoy some pulled pork. It should be good. There you
Yeah.
go. I've seen videos on that. It looks very interesting. It'd be nice to see, how it goes and how it turns out for you. You have to let me know on
Yeah.
dehydrating the meat.
And you know what else I'm kind of embarrassed to say this, but I have an Instant Pot and we've had it here for years. And I just recently watched a video and found out that there's a sous vide option on the Instant
Oh,
Pot.
really?
Yeah. And I was
Interesting.
like, is there really? And then I looked and sure enough, there is a button for it on my Instant Pot. So I'm going to have to try that sometime.
Yeah,
And I watched this
definitely.
video where they showed if you don't have, because you have to have the uh you need to have it sealed really well, right? For doing sous vide. So I don't remember exactly. I can't think of the name of that particular thing that does it for you. But if you
Mhm.
don't have that, I watched this video that showed how you can just use a Ziploc bag. The zips are really good,
Hmm.
and you kind of leave the corner open, and you put it into the water, and kind of squeeze the rest of the air out as you go and push it down further so that then you zip it up the rest of the way, and if you pull it out you can see it looks like just like the vacuum seal that you see from these machines.
Hmm.
It's pretty cool, so I'm gonna have to try that sometime.
Interesting.
Oh, and she's gonna said she might video
Ketovore,
that. That's
Oregon,
cool.
Oregon. I think you should video that. I saw that you said you had a couple videos out, and you might as well film it. Why not? You just got to create and just put stuff out there. People will watch it and pay attention. I think it'd be neat to see.
Yeah. Keto diet says 110 days on my 99% meat diet. Stomach so bad at start that could have ended up in a hospital visit. Acid burning and felt like knives sticking in stomach. Also caused pain in back. Healed up 100% now.
That's
That's
awesome
great.
that you're healed up. It is.
Yeah.
It's an adjustment, that's for sure. But once you get through that, I think it does make a difference for sure.
Yeah. And Susan was asking what option on the Instant Pot. It's the sous vide option. Um, so let me type that in. Hopefully I
They
spelled this
sell
right.
those separate that you can get, but if that has that option, I mean, definitely be a more probably affordable
Yeah.
since you already have it. So if it works,
It's French. I hope I spelled that right. But yeah, that's so not all Instant Pots have that option on there, but I think that there's a workaround you can do or something you can purchase to, like, add to it or something, but my particular Instant Pot does have that on there, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay, Matthew
Nice.
says, "I'm cooking a fat sirloin steak sous vide." There we go, I spelled it right, great. At the moment,
Nice.
it's a lean cut, but butter will fix that. Yep.
Butter fixes everything. Just be careful using too much.
Yeah, I've seen the videos where some of the people there was a trend going there for a while where they were just using so much butter, and I don't know, I'm not a doctor, but to me, that just kind of worried me a little bit, right? Like, it just seemed like too much butter. Like, for me, if I was eating that much butter, I would have had some bathroom issues, I can tell you that much.
Yeah.
Susan says, "So fantastic for the,
Yep.
that's, the
Healed up 100%
the
now. Yep.
stomach issues that he had,
Yep.
yep, that are now 100% healed." Yep. All right. Um, so let's see here. I don't see any new questions. If you do have a question, go ahead and put it in the chat. Greg, I don't know how much time you got here. I still got some time so I can stay on, but I don't know what your time looks like.
Yeah,
So,
I don't have anything major going on. We can stay on for a little bit longer.
okay,
Yeah.
good. So while we're waiting for a question, let's see so we talked a little bit about what's coming up on my channel. We talked about the interview you just did with
Mhm.
Carnivore Cure.
Yeah.
What else you got coming up here more recent or in the
I've
near
got a
future?
couple actually, I got a couple videos I gotta finish editing and putting out. One coming up, is, it's talking about tips to break a food addiction. Carnivore Kip actually inspired me to make that video with some things that he said, and I'm just kind of applying some of the life coaching that I've done for the last 14 years and helping people and using some of that knowledge to kind of give people an idea on how they can break some food addiction, which can be hard, especially, most people are overweight. Probably most of them have a food addiction, maybe some other addictions too. But I think it's one of those things that, anytime we can offer tips up to somebody to help them, I've got that coming out. I think that's going to be a good video to watch. Trying to think what else I got going on. That's the only thing I can think of right offhand, but I know I've got a couple things in the pipeline. Interview with you next Friday. I'm probably going to try and get an interview with somebody on Wednesday this next week or live. I've just got to finish setting that up. But yeah, I'm just enjoying putting out videos and just doing some lives and interviews. And I love hearing people's story and just trying to make a difference and help other people. That's what it's about for me.
Yeah. And so our live next Friday, I should point out that's the beginning of Labor Day weekend, right?
Yep.
So we were thinking we're gonna at least start the live with a topic of how to navigate the weekend of the family gatherings and so forth, and try and keep yourself on low carb or carnivore, keto, whatever it is that you're doing, ketovore, whatever. So you definitely want to tune into that next Friday. So we'll give you our ideas and things that we've done in the past and so forth to try and help us out through some of those family gatherings, which that those can be interesting because you know your your uncle or whoever, that they might eat a completely different way, and you're going to have all kinds of fruits and you know
Pastas and
pastas, there you go, and
noodles.
cake and cupcakes and cookies and chips, and you gotta yeah, you're gonna wanna tune into that because we're gonna try and kinda support ourselves and help everybody out going into that weekend.
Yeah, I think I'm one of those. You just need to stick a couple hot dogs in your pocket and have something to eat when you get there because you're gonna want to avoid some of that food.
Yeah, and I've done it before where I ate before going to, one of those events just because I knew it wasn't gonna be good with the food that they had, so that way I was hoping I wouldn't be as tempted, so
Well, it's tough because you don't want to hurt somebody's feelings when they're saying, "Oh, here, try this food," and then there's one item that you can have a meat and cheese tray or something,
yeah.
per
And
steak, and I like that.
first bacon, there you go. You
Yeah.
know what I've found though? that, even if people don't want to do carnivore like me, they're very understanding, and I've gone to some gatherings at other people's houses, and they knew that I was carnivore, and I was amazed that, like, I got there and they're like, "I've got stuff for you. I made this, brisket or whatever,
Nice.
we've got chicken, whatever." And yeah, it's like, "I made sure I had extra meat just so that you had plenty to eat." And it's like, "Wow,
I made you a
that's great."
porterhouse.
Yeah,
Wouldn't that
I
be
wish, yeah.
I made a porterhouse for you. Hey, great.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Church potluck on that Sunday. Oh, food porn. Yeah.
Yep.
Ooh, a
It's
a church potluck, that's gonna have, like, so many
variety.
carbs. Oh,
Yep.
man.
Lot of chips. For
Yeah.
sure.
Huh. So Susan's asking if Matthew is French. Yummy steak.
I bought a big chuck bottom round today.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
$6.99 a pound. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna cut this into steaks and tenderize the heck out of it and see how it turns out. I'm gonna try that this weekend. Um,
Mm,
that's the thing. I sometimes, I'm stepping out when I usually buy for meat, but you know what? I want to try it and see if I can come up with something that's, affordable but yet good. There's nothing wrong with doing some of that. You learn by doing, and that's what I'm doing. I'm like, oh well, I'll give it a try and make it work. See what happens.
yeah. I got, some chuck roast just a little like, this past weekend, and, um, we had, we made it in the crock pot, the roast, yesterday that we had for dinner. And I still have more that I got in the freezer that I wanna do the sous vide option now that I know that I got that on my Instant Pot. So I'm gonna try that, see how it goes.
Yep. No, that's good. Good stuff.
Yeah. Rick, a rotting dumpster is not food porn any more than baked goods are to someone like me. 40 years on carnivore, so he is not tempted at all anymore. I wish I could get that way. And ketovore Oregonian says, "That is the way I hope to be someday as well."
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really looking forward though to the, trying the sous vide option on my Instant Pot. So now that I know that it's there,
Oh
um,
yeah, definitely.
and I've definitely heard that that's kind of the way to go with, like, chuck roast, right? 'Cause it's interesting because you can't do, like, a normal, like, a ribeye or something where you might do, like, a sear. You could do a sear, but you either need to do the sear and then, like, a long slow cook or a slow cook
Mhm.
first or something because the chuck roast is just, the type of cut it is.
Right.
So, the sous vide I've heard is really good for it, so I definitely got it. I can't wait to try it. Duck food, there we go. I was waiting for Rick to talk about the duck food there. If you check out his channel, he's got videos where he's tried to feed some what they tell us is good food, but really isn't to his ducks, and even they won't eat eat 'em.
Bad food, feed it to the ducks.
Yeah, feed to the ducks. Uh, all right. So let's see. We are at 8 people on here still right now.
Well, thanks for sticking
And
around. Whoever's here, appreciate it.
yeah,
Appreciate you.
yep. Think we are caught up. I didn't miss any questions, so that's good. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Matthew
French,
says yes, he is a French
French Canadian.
Canadian. There you go. Susan says bring your own food and warm it in the microwave or bring something that you'll be able to eat and then just eat the meat that
Yeah,
others
it's a good
bring.
idea for that. You're talking for the potluck, I'm assuming. Yeah, that's a great
Yeah.
idea. Or family gathering, that works too.
Yep. Definitely.
I've seen how some of my relatives cook. You're better off bringing your own meat.
Oh, I don't even wanna go there in case they're watching, so
Yep, cook on the engine.
it's funny because I feel like I keep saying, "Rick's got a video for that," but Rick's got a video for that cooking at the engine, let me tell you, he's got a video for everything, I'm thinking at this point.
That's
Oh,
great.
yeah. Alright. So you had mentioned earlier, what you had ate today. Are you get and you're 2 mad mostly, right? So you're probably planning on
Yeah,
eating again. What are you
I'm
planning on
having
doing later?
tonight I'm having a bacon wrapped pork chop, and I'll use some butter on that and, bring up the fat levels a little bit there, but, yeah, bacon wrapped pork chop tonight for supper. Um, I had it's a carnivore day today, so that's probably about all I have is some pork tonight and call it good, so, I might cook up some bacon too, so I'll probably have some bacon too because I know right now we're out, so I'll, have a little bit more bacon with that bacon wrapped pork chop too, so that should be good.
Yeah. And you go every other day between keto and carnivore.
Yep.
So when you go keto, like tomorrow, then, um, how much I think you said before, like around 5 grams of carbs per day, right? So
Yeah.
how do you what's like a typical keto day for you like
But
eating?
it just depends on what I have for lunch because sometimes I will do bacon and eggs, and then at supper I'll do a steak and then maybe some broccoli or cauliflower. That's probably the only variation off of carnivore on the ketovore day or keto day. Otherwise, sometimes I'll do a taco salad for lunch on that keto day, and then I'll have meat at night. So, but I'm finding more that I just eat meat at night, and when I eat bacon and eggs for lunch, I'm like, well, I'm kind of pretty much carnivore then. So I would
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
But it's worked well for me. I can't complain. I mean, it's kind of the best of both worlds for me for the fact that, yeah, I can keep eating a taco salad, but at the same time, the last few times I've had them, it hasn't sat real well with me. So I might have to do away with those.
Yeah. Huh. I wish I could figure out I don't know if you guys are seeing that my video, like the background color
Yeah, I
keeps
noticed it's
changing.
switching quite a bit today for some reason, but,
It's my camera, though.
uh,
It's weird. And
my end, you're a little bit blurry too. So I don't know if I look blurry to you, but
mm, no, you look pretty clean, pretty clear.
good.
So I don't know. I think my camera's starting to go. I'm gonna have to find a new
Could,
camera.
could be.
I had a second webcam, and I tried hooking that up the other day, and it just did not look good at all. It was really blurry. So they're both older, so I think I need a new one, but, yeah, this is just so weird because, like, nothing is happening here. I'll just be talking, and then all of a sudden,
Yeah.
I'll notice in the video that the wall behind me gets to, like, a different color, and the
Yeah.
funny thing is, like, right now, the color it looks right now is not the real color. When it changes to that other color, let's see
Yeah.
if I hit it, if I'll see, I can't make it do that. I don't know how
Yeah.
it
It
does that.
started to turn a second, but
Did it? But yeah, it's more of that, like, bluish greenish color is actually the color of the wall, and it's so funny because 'cause I'm sitting here and I look at my videos, and then I'll do a video and I'll be editing it up, and I'm like, "Why does the wall look like that? It doesn't make sense." And I'm like, "But the shirt looks right. This is the right color of the shirt." I
yeah.
it's weird. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look at getting a new camera, I guess.
Yeah. See what you can find. Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Carnivore
Well,
backwards just got home.
did he Oh, here we go. Yeah. Alright. And then Um, we've been talking too. We're looking at doing something together alive. Matter of fact, we scheduled something already, didn't we? Or well, we haven't put it out there yet, but we are going to do a live together. In like the first week of September. So be on the lookout for that.
Nice. I'll check that
Yep.
out.
And let me actually.
I got a few pages I need to check out. I've been kind of writing down a few as we go because you kind of get in your routine of watching some of the same people, but I always like to watch some new people too. So I've definitely got a few channels to check out, and I'm looking forward to that. And when I get there, I'll give you a sub. So definitely.
Here's his channel. Let me show it. So there's his channel. I just put it in the chat for y'all. Check it out. Yeah, he's newer and doing the YouTube thing as well. So he's got a few videos out there now. Little over 100 subscribers, so he's starting to grow.
Yeah, it's
But he's only been doing it a couple weeks, so that's great.
yeah,
Like
that's
a week or two, I
awesome
think.
for
Yeah.
2 weeks. So that's awesome.
Yep. So go ahead and support his channel as well. Right. And again, any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat for us. Susan's asking Matthew if he has a YouTube channel. Let's see, where was Matthew's
He's just up a
post?
few. Yep.
See if I can
454.
find it. 54. Here we go. Let me see. I don't know if he does. If you do, we're gonna advertise it for you. I don't know. If you do, let us know and we'll advertise it for you, Matthew. There's a few of them out there, and I don't know. I don't want to pick the wrong one and be like, hey, this might be it.
Yeah.
So let us know if you got one. We'll advertise it out there for you. All right.
I'm going to probably be having to pack it up here pretty quick, I'm thinking. Any final questions from anybody? Or I appreciate you guys, everybody coming on, and I appreciate Brian for hosting and having me. It's fun being on here today, and I enjoyed it, and look forward to next Friday. And we'll have some good conversation then too, and have a super weekend.
Yep.
I mean, everybody just enjoy some time with family and friends, and make the best of it. That's what it's all about.
Yep. Yep. I don't see any more questions, so I think we can go ahead and end the live stream here today. I hope everybody has a good evening and a good weekend. And let me put this in here real quick.
Yeah.
Susan says Carnivore Transformer put out a whole list of channels, so check that out.
Nice.
So, yep, definitely check that. Oh, here we go. Matthew responded. I do, but haven't posted much yet. I do have some videos up in the Inuit way of life. Okay. They are not mine. They belong to a public domain. I make a carnivore diet video at one point soon. Okay.
There you go. Perfect.
All right. Yep. So Greg, thanks for coming on. Surprise guest. I can't wait until next Friday. That should be fun.
Yeah, it'll be a good time.
Talking about the weekend and how we're going to navigate that. Thank you everybody for watching today and for interacting with us, asking us questions and chatting and so forth. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah,
So,
definitely. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it.
all right.
Appreciate you. So,
All right. Thanks everybody. Bye.
see you guys.